Dana Denha here, and this is Let's Watch with the Ann Arbor Film Festival. Every year, talented artists from all over the world aim to take part in our local film fest. Artists of all kinds unveil their passions and interests through film and performances at this internationally renowned annual event. Because filmmakers in the festival are from all over the world, we can't always have them in studio, so we do the next best thing, have a chat from afar. Sofia Caetano is an artist who works across many mediums to create audio and visual sensations, most notably in the realm of music videos. She thrives on collaboration with other artists, which in turn brings out the best in her work. Let's watch.
Hi everyone, I'm Sofia Caetano and I'm from the Azores Islands. I have a BFA in painting and an MFA in media art. I'm a filmmaker and I make installation art as well, mostly multimedia work with projection, painting, and mylar paper, like the one in my background. As a painter, I started working and experimenting with photography and video and decided to study directing. When I was on set for the first time, I really fell in love with the process of making a film. So I decided to concentrate on making films. And actually, my first work was a music video I shot back in 2011 for the artist and music dance producer Joel. It's called Storyteller. So music videos are very special to me because I feel like I can create anything following no rules. And I love the process of collaborating with a musician. In 2016, I co-founded The Spectacular House. Elliot Chide and I directed, and it's a small boutique production house. We make creative video, photography, editing, film scoring, and we also make music videos. Some of my influences are Bjork. I really enjoy her work. I feel like she does a great job creating a really unique identity for who she is and what she presents, music-wise, but also film-wise, as in how she has been collaborating with different filmmakers to make really interesting music videos, I find. I also really enjoy the work of Sandy Skoglund and the world she creates in a room and then photographs. Another one of my influences is Terry Gilliam. I really enjoy his work, namely his film Brazil, and how he creates this sci-fi world. I'm also a fan of Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who also creates these unique underground worlds. Another one of my biggest influences is Elliot Chide, who is a musician and filmmaker and also happens to be my husband. Some of the music videos I made for his music. And our relationship actually started not romantically, but as a collaborator while we were going to grad school and getting our degrees in media art. So we found that we had a lot of common interests and we were good at bouncing off ideas out of each other. So for example, for Making Love Outside, I really loved this track Elliot wrote. So, and I was at a time working with 16mm found footage for a different project, an installation project. And I found this reel that concerned these experiments in a lab. And they were kind of sexy and weird. So I thought that they were the perfect match to Elliot's song. So I was so excited. I really remember the feeling of thinking this is the perfect match for Elliot's song. So I actually cut a really quick version of it and showed Elliot, and we just laughed and we were like, this is it. It's perfect.
Whatever happened to making love outside? It's not so happy to be plugged into a cloud. I cannot fathom myself my naked plastic shell. We were born but never died, illuminated by our screen time.
It looks pink because it's old, not because I painted it that way, but because with age, film stocks, namely color film stocks, lose their color due to the contact they have with fungi. So sometimes they turn browner, sometimes they turn pinker, and that color was something I was really interested in. But for example, for Birth of Christer, what it was like was Elliot wrote the song, and I really wanted to create an animation for it that really illustrated directly what the song was talking about. So it took me a year. I collected a lot of trash in our house. Trash, I mean, cardboard, tins, egg shells. And I created these characters for his song, and then I did a stop motion animation.
Santa Mom gets it good with their hair. That rabbit's named Jack. He's straddling his sleigh. 8 cylinders that purr and sway. Remember those days? My name is Crystal. Let's put it together. Emptiness that burns may as well be Jesus himself. What do you know about combo beers from your microwave shelf?
Sometimes I usually start with a mental image. The idea comes to me as a visual stimuli of a specific scene, and then I usually develop the characters from there. So for example, for Birth of Christer, how the process was like was to take Elliot Sheedy's song as almost the script for the story, and then I would break it down between scenes, and then after that I actually designed the storyboard, and then I started painting all the characters and constructing the mise-en-scenes and the scenarios for the film. Then after I collected all the photos I needed for the stop motion, then I had to bring those into the computer and cut them to the song and add some effects like zooming in and zooming out that brought some dynamic to how we experienced the film. For Ribcage Heaven, it was really a unique collaboration because I got to write the song with Elliot. We were working on the film score for my film Bliss that actually premiered at Ann Arbor Film Festival in 2017. And we were obsessed with this idea of creating a vintage song for the main character, who's the scientist. It was a sci-fi comedy, a story set in the future, but we wanted to create a song that was from the past. So she was listening. She kept coming to this old song. So we actually wrote it on our way to Toronto. We were going to Toronto International Film Festival, and we decided we had to write the song during the trip. So we actually ended up stopping in a coffee shop. It was a really interesting experience because we just bounced a piece of paper out of each other and kept writing it. So after writing the song, then we wanted to create these characters that were a romantic couple that interpreted this song. So they didn't belong to the world of the film. They belonged to this older time. So we used VHS camera, and we collaborated in every aspect of the music video. So we wrote the song together. Elliot composed the music, and then we directed and interpreted the film. And we were interested in creating these dance moves that would go with the song.
just me, just you.
Our world without the world.
Apples that never, never fall from a tree.
You're my Adam, my cage heaven. And it's time to be happy, 'cause we love happiness. Don't you want to be happy? Don't you love happiness?
For 100 Days of May, I collaborated with Elliot Sheedy also to create this film. And Pedro from PMDS and Flip talked to us because they wanted a music video, but they weren't set on any specific idea of what they wanted. So we got to create something from scratch. It's an experimental ambient song, so it really allowed us to create anything we wanted. We had a fairly small budget, so we decided what can we create inside our studio and interpret ourselves to make it interesting for the world of the music. One thing I think that ties my work together is how I explore color in my films, and I think this might be connected to my background as a painter. For example, in Making Love Outside, we have the pink, and that was an aesthetic I was really interested in. But then in other works like Birth of Christer, I was trying to go really bold with the colors, really bright colors. For 100 Days of May, I really wanted to juxtapose stale colors with really bright colors so I could call attention into certain elements of the mise-en-scene. Regarding Ribcage Heaven, we were exploring the VHS look and how that specific medium changes the color, but we were interested in working with blues and reds and again, colors that contrast when juxtaposed. I love making music videos and I really want to keep making them and collaborating with different artists because I think that collaboration works really well for me because I get to create something for someone who also has a vision and we can add my vision to their vision and create something even greater together. And because I really like the potential music videos have for creating something that is really outside the box. It doesn't have to follow a story. It can be more or less abstract. I can be really creative with the tools I'm using. It doesn't matter if I'm using VHS or 16mm films or digital or if I'm just opposing all of these together. It really signifies creative freedom. I've been coming to Ann Arbor Film Festival to show work for the past 2 years, and I have to say it's always a very special time of the year for me because I love being in Ann Arbor. I think it's a super interesting town with great bookstores, great cafes, a great food scene, and obviously the festival is just amazing because I get the opportunity to meet all these other filmmakers that are interested in the same kind of work that I am, or even if they're not, which sometimes even makes things more interesting because I'm exposed to work that I wouldn't if I didn't come to the festival. I think Ann Arbor is really unique because it focuses on experimental film. And what does that mean nowadays in 2018? What does that mean to be experimental? I mean, there are so many different people doing different things, and it's really refreshing to go to Ann Arbor and be exposed to all of their creativity for a full week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at Ann Arbor Film Festival in 2019.
For more on this and other CTN series online, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. I'm Dana Denhoff for Let's Watch with the Ann Arbor Film Festival.